Hello and welcome to the Top Agent Podcast. My name is Costa and I chat with top real estate agents to discuss their successes, tips, and marketing strategies. This podcast series is brought to you by Web for Realty, the leading provider in real estate marketing tools to grow your business. If you're looking to attract leads, build relationships, and close more deals, go to webforrealty.com to learn more. In today's episode, I'm speaking with Bradley Watson. Bradley is a realtor in the GTA with Sutton Group Central Realty. I really enjoyed speaking with Bradley, very insightful, a lot of great information in this episode. Not to mention, he's only 27 years old and absolutely crushing it. I think you'll enjoy our chat as much as I did, so happy listening. All right, Bradley, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you. No, I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. I guess if you want to kick things off, maybe tell our audience a bit about yourself, your background, and how you ended up becoming a realtor.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm a pretty young fart right now. I'm actually 27. So in this world, it's pretty young. I think the average age is in the 50s. So, but I've been in the business for 5 years now. I went to university and while I was there, I was pretty heavy into student government and politics, and it paid for my school and was a really good networking opportunity. But out of university, I kind of got stuck in an insurance role in the insurance industry that I didn't really like, wasn't enjoying it. And for me, I love to learn. So my reflex was to go back to school, and I decided that I would pursue a career in real estate. So in my off times from the 9 to 5, I would just study, get the courses done. It took about a year and a half to do. And it was kind of funny because you see a lot of old guys, a lot of second career individuals and that are going through the courses, and you see a real difference. So definitely intimidating as a young person, but I think on my end, it seems overwhelming when you're that young, but from everyone else's perspective, they're encouraging and they say, you know what, you've got a long road ahead of you. And for me, real estate is a first career. And if things progress as they will in this industry and it stays as strong as it is now, then I'll be here until retirement, if I even retire. So I love what I'm doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. So you're 5 years in as a realtor. What would you say some of your biggest challenges you faced thus far in your early career as a real estate agent?
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of pointing at the first is my age, because I started when I was 22. So that was a noticeable physical difference. The other thing I think all realtors face that I faced was coming into a world where everyone already knows someone in the industry, because there's 70 some odd thousand realtors in the GTA. I kind of came into a very established career path that already has people that have big names. And so I think trying to differentiate was one of the biggest challenges. It took me a couple of years to find where my niche is. I think one of the other things that kind of drew me deep into real estate beyond just a job, but making it something I love, was investing. And I think investing goes well beyond just the real estate transaction. And it's something I've become extremely passionate about.
Yeah, you know what? I started pretty young with Web for Realty as well. And there's a lot of times there's that stigma of dealing with a younger person. But I mean, I think if you can just look past that, and if you're truly providing value to your clients, then that's all that matters at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely.
So one thing I love what you're doing in particular are your Facebook videos. I think video content in general on all platforms is becoming a vital component to any business's social strategy. And I got to say, the content you're putting out is very captivating. It's interesting and very relevant. And whenever I see your videos pop up in my feed, I'm actually listening and paying attention to them. So great job there. Cool. I also think capturing someone's attention nowadays with the constant stream of content we consume is very difficult. So what are some of your most effective marketing strategies that are providing you the most ROI? And if you can comment on how your video content strategy is working, that'd be great as well.
Mm-hmm. So part of starting any self-employed sales role is prospecting. So for me, in the first couple of years, it was phone calls, get a database, make a list, 10 phone calls at lunch and all of those things. And it kind of worked. I got to build, my first maybe 50 good contacts, but from there, it really limits where you can go. So I very rarely now will make cold, even warm contacts. I very rarely will contact those individuals. It's usually either hot or very warm contacts now. My prospecting has been completely redirected to social media and video blogs that you're kind of talking about. In fact, I commit every Wednesday to putting out another video. So today, which actually we're filming this on a Wednesday, I'm going to be putting one out on the trade war that's going on between Canada and the US and how that impacts real estate prices here in the Greater Toronto area. So I'm always kind of looking at what's fresh. I know there's a lot of agents that are putting out general market updates, which I find are extremely boring. If I do mention market updates, it's maybe a 30-second intro, and then we move on to the real meat and potatoes. So definitely social media, video blogs. I post them on, I know you probably see them on Facebook. I get several thousand. I think the highest post I've had on a Facebook reach organically was 9,000.
Wow.
But on a typical week, I'm about 2,000 to 3,000 on a post. So that page is called GTA Real Estate. But then I also posted on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and those are all under the Watson Estates brand. So and then, outside of that, which is kind of, I'd say 80% of my leads that I have are new business come from that. I'd say the rest is from volunteering, my church, and, just kind of getting involved in the community.
Question about the video. Do you find one platform outperforming another in terms of the video specifically?
Yeah. Facebook, hands down. Which in my mind, it's great because Facebook is probably the strongest platform, but intimidating because I'm seeing a lot of young people coming up on Instagram. So right now, I'm just most of my efforts is streamlining my Facebook content, and then I'm going to be working on some branding, and we're going to be doing a major jump to Instagram as well. That's I think that's the next big social platform.
Okay, perfect. That's good to know. Changing gears a little bit, I'm a numbers guy. I love talking revenue, margins, commissions, all that fun stuff, and my audience loves when I ask the question. So with that being said, do you mind sharing how many transactions you've closed in the last 12 months?
Oh, goodness.
Or if not, maybe
so
a
last
range?
year, no, I'm okay. I'm extremely open, actually, with my own numbers. And I think I think people, even in my videos, I've published a lot of information on my stuff just for myself, because I think it gives people want to listen to people that are successful. And I think if there's a lot of people spewing and don't have any numbers behind it. This year, my goal for the 12 months is about 150 in commissions, pre-tax. So last year was a little bit harder because of the market turmoil, but this year we're off to the races. Like I had a deal close last week. I got one this week. I don't know what the numbers are for transactions. I think it kind of floats around 15 to 20 in a year to do that. But a lot of them are clients that I've helped on several units or to buy and sell. So
awesome. So you said 150,000 in commissions is your goal for the next 12 months.
That's my take home. That's my projected take home before the end of the year. Yeah. I'm overshot half that already. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
In one of your videos, you spoke about Bitcoin and how a seller in the GTA listed their property in Bitcoin. I was curious, was there any update on that which you can share?
Well, the video, when I had filmed it, was actually all the information we could get on it. So the way, from recollection, that ended, I'm pretty confident it closed in Canadian dollars. Okay. What was unique about it was listed in Bitcoin. So the agent needed to update it on a daily basis. There was really no updates to be had from that. I haven't looked if there's been any other since. I think that was a couple months ago that video was filmed, but I actually filmed it right before closing, but the deal was firm. So the terms of the contract aren't public, so I can't actually get any more information.
So we don't know if it was actually sold in Bitcoin or dollars.
I would think, I'm guessing from a legal standpoint, that it was done in Canadian dollars so that the lawyers didn't rip their hair out. I see, yeah. But I don't know for sure, and there's still a lot of work being done on how Bitcoin is going to fit in the industry. So we might find that it could have happened. I think it's unlikely, but it's interesting to see Bitcoin kind of moving in.
Yeah, staying on that topic as well, how do you see technology changing real estate in the next 5 to 10 years, whether it be with Bitcoin, cryptos, or anything else that you're noticing?
Yeah, so that's definitely one point. I'm already big into electronic signatures, which I know for some of the older people is kind of not worth learning, almost knowing that they're 10 years out from kind of finishing their career. But I'm big into AuthentiSign, which is the one that Treb recently signed, which is just an electronic signature. But I've been using signatures for the last year now. And even for older clients, I find it super helpful. So I think that's going to become the basis for all transactions will become electronic. That's my opinion. But as far as like the home goes, I think you're going to start to see things like AI, augmented reality. Those are going to play a bigger part in listings and buying and selling transactions and furnishing and that kind of thing. But even home technologies, like the Nest thermostats and automatic, like I just installed in my own place, app, programmed garage door opener, and everything I think is going to become very smart. We're already seeing that with things like Amazon and Google. So
absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. Now, I want to be mindful of your time here. So I like to wrap up each interview with what I call a top 3. So number 1, what is your top real estate or business book that you've read recently?
Yeah, I think, I'm not a big reader, but I love audiobooks. So I love to take content in constantly. And I think the book that's had the most impact on me is probably Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I think that's kind of the baseline for everyone that's written books since. So I think most of those ideas. So I'm big into the mindset, and I think that's really what's taken my business to the next level.
Have you read How to Win Friends and Influence People? That's one of my favorites. I think it's so relevant for anyone in any profession, but more so for real estate. And just the fact that you're dealing with people day in, day out. I think that's a really good one as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 2.
No, I do like that.
Sorry, what was that?
No, I agree. I think that's a great book. I had heard that actually in talking to people in pretty high circles, and having read it, like it definitely holds up.
Number 2, your top vacation spot.
Yeah, so I like to stay local because I find it allows me to stay on Wi-Fi, which can sometimes be tricky. But I do think my favorite vacation spot I've ever gone to, I don't know if I would keep going, but was my honeymoon was in Costa Rica, which was very interactive. We did a lot of excursions. So I think that at this point's my favorite, but I'm waiting for the day that someone buys me a ticket to Bora Bora, and that'll probably become number 1.
Nice. I've never been to Costa Rica, but I've heard a lot of great things. You're not the only one who's mentioned that.
Yeah, it was good.
And awesome. You, 27 years old, if you can go back 7 years, what do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Yeah, so 20, I would have been, in university. So I think if I could go back and do something that would put my business even further along, I think the one thing would be power of relationships. I was very I interacted with a lot of people on a day-to-day, and more from a student government standpoint. But had I known that I would be in a sales oriented career, one that depends on relationships, I would have put way more emphasis in, connecting with people. I think social media has helped me kind of backtrack a little bit, but having been more intentional in those days when, I didn't have to worry about me providing for a family, it would have been a great time to rub elbows. And I think that's what I would kind of do.
And if people wanted to get a hold of you or reach out, where can they find you?
Yeah. So if they just want to stay plugged in, Facebook, they can go to the GTA real estate page. If they're on YouTube or Instagram, they can follow me at Watson Estates. If you'd like, I can, email if they'd like, they can email me, Bradley at watsonestates.ca. That's probably the least direct way to come at me. If you want my cell phone, people are welcome to message me. I'm happy to do that.
I'll put all your details in the show notes, by the way, as well. I'm looking forward to your video today, and it was a pleasure speaking with you. We should definitely do this again sometime.
Sounds good. Thank you, Costa. Best of luck.
All right, Bradley. Thanks again.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Top Agent Podcast by Web for Realty. By the way, we're providing exclusive promos to our listeners. Visit webforrealty.com/topagent and get your first month on us. That's webforrealty.com/topagent to get your first month of service completely free. Until next time, over and out. Peace.